Ever wondered how sentences come together so smoothly? How you can sound super fluent when speaking or writing? Well, it's all about the magic of clauses. But don't worry, this isn't going to be your typical grammar lesson. Stick with me for the next few minutes and you'll be combining clauses like a pro. Let's dive in. Hey there, SAH English Insights family. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're breaking down something that can totally transform how you write and speak in English. Clauses. Yep, you heard me right. And don't go anywhere, because by the end of this, you'll have a whole new perspective on what makes up a sentence. Are you ready to unlock the secrets? Let's go. All right, so let's start with the basics. What the heck is a clause? Simply put, a clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. That's it. The only catch is that these two have to be related in some way. It's not just a random group of words stuck together. A clause expresses something happening or being with a subject and a verb. Simple, right? You might think, hold on, that sounds like a sentence, and you'd be right. A clause can be a sentence. Just one simple sentence. But let me tell you, clauses get way more interesting when you start combining them. Okay, here's where it gets exciting. Did you know there are two types of clauses? Independent and dependent. Let's talk about them, starting with the star of the show, the independent clause. An independent clause is like a strong, confident sentence. It doesn't need anyone's help to stand alone. Take a look at these examples. I love eating cookies. My dog barks a lot. The kids ate lunch. These are all independent clauses and they could totally be sentences on their own. Now let's throw in the opposite. Meet the dependent clause. Dependent clauses can't stand alone. They need someone else to make sense. You can't just say, when I grow up, and expect it to be a full thought, right? You need to add something like, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. Now that's a complete sentence. Here's where the magic happens. Combining clauses, and trust me, this is where you can really start flexing your English muscles. When you start combining clauses, you can go from simple to complex sentences in no time. Let's talk about compound sentences. This is when you've got two independent clauses joining forces. You can do that with a comma and a coordinating conjunction like but and so or yet. For example, I love drinking soda, but I know it's bad for my teeth. See how those two ideas come together in one smooth sentence? And if you're feeling even bolder, you can create a compound complex sentence. This is when you mix independent and dependent clauses to form something more sophisticated. Like this. Although she was tired, she went for a run because it was sunny. Boom! That's some next level sentence structure. Let's take a quick detour into the three major types of clauses. First, we've got the noun clause. This one's easy. It acts like a noun in the sentence. For example, she completely understood everything he said. Here, everything he said is the noun clause. It's the thing she understood. Next up, we've got adverbial clauses. These guys act like adverbs, which means they tell us how, when, where, or why something happens. She fixed the sink without facing difficulty. See how that little phrase, without facing difficulty, tells us more about how she fixed the sink? And then there's the adjective clause. This one acts like an adjective and describes a noun. The guy who shouted all night made it impossible to fall asleep. That who shouted all night part is describing the guy. It's giving us more info about him. All right, quick tip time. If you want to combine clauses like a pro, don't forget your punctuation. When a dependent clause comes first, make sure to add a comma before your independent clause. Although it was raining, we decided to go hiking. And if the independent clause comes first, no comma is needed. Also, don't be afraid to mix things up. Using a variety of sentence structures will make your writing more interesting and dynamic. Now let's touch on relative clauses. These use relative pronouns like who, that, and which to give us more information about a noun. Check this out. The dog that barked all night kept me awake. Here, that barked all night is a relative clause telling us more about the dog. So what have we learned today? Clauses are the building blocks of English sentences. Whether they're independent or dependent, noun, adverbial, or adjective, they all play their part in making your sentences clearer, more dynamic, and more fun to read or say. Next time you're writing or speaking, try combining clauses in different ways. It'll make your communication so much smoother, and your sentences will sound more professional. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tips and tricks here at SAH English Insights. See you next time.